Hey everyone, welcome to an episode of If You Have to Pick Three, a podcast where we have to pick our top three choices of any given topic. And after we both share our nominations, we then have to come to an agreement on a final top three. I'm Zach Shaw.
And I'm Matt Gamba.
And we love listening to the radio. But there is always one song that we keep hearing over and over and over again that even if we love the artist, it just makes us go, enough already. And we just automatically turn the radio station and then we end up hearing that song again. So in today's episode, we pick which three songs, if we could choose, to never hear on the radio again, these would be those songs.
I would argue that there's more than just one. So, all right. If we're going to get down to brass tacks and do this, I'm going to start because...
you actually are in radio.
I am in radio, and there are so many songs that I would say never, ever again. Like, if I had my way, I would buy all of these copies, take them out back, and burn them.
That's a lot of fire.
There is. There'd be a lot of fire. It's like the Joker in The Dark Knight. Just burning that whole stack of money. Just burn all of it. So, number one, in no particular order. This one, for me, this one has no particular order because these are equally offenders. Number one.
I'm sorry, actually, before you do that, I do want to clarify also. Kind of hinted before, we don't necessarily hate the bands or the musicians. And it might not even be a terrible song, but because we just keep hearing it over and over again, we just don't ever want to hear it again.
Exactly. Number one is going to be Aerosmith's Walk This Way.
Oh.
Never, ever, ever again. And honestly, I wish that Run DMC never partnered with Aerosmith. Just simply for the fact that if you look at Aerosmith's history, when they released their first album, it got a good reception, and then Aerosmith kind of just went down and down and down until Run DMC picked them back up, and then we have Aerosmith. And no. Run DMC.
I have so many thoughts, but continue.
No, I hate this song because there's nothing edgy about it anymore. It's just overplayed because it was the first to do something. Okay, great, there's a first of everything, but then that first gets trumped by things that are so much better. Put this to bed. No more. This should be like Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven. You just don't play it.
I'll share my thoughts in a minute, but continue.
Okay. Number two, Pink Floyd's Another Brick in the Wall, Part 2.
I'm about to leave, but continue.
Another one. I love Pink Floyd. I love me some Dark Side of the Moon. I love me Momentary Lapse of Reason, The Division Bell. They've got so many great songs. Why do you pick this song? It's part of an epic rock opera, for lack of a better word, a concept album. It's a piece of an album. It's part 2 of 3 parts. Like, play them all. Play not just this piece. Just you could do so many other things with it. Just stop playing this song. It's so overdone. I wish I had a count of how many times this song was played, because I know it's probably played more than once in a day. And I hate every minute of hearing it every time. Unless it's in the context of listening to the whole album, then it's acceptable. But nobody's going to play that.
So many thoughts, so many comments, but continue. I'll save it.
All right. Number 3. I wish I could say the entire band and their entire catalog just stop. But since I have to pick one song, Def Leppard, Rock of Ages.
I knew you would.
Oh, Def Leppard.
Wait, that song? Hold on. I'm sorry. I'll let you continue in a second. But I knew you were going to pick a Def Leppard song. But that song?
That song, because
they're one of their best songs?
I would say that I don't hear Pour Some Sugar on Me as much as I hear that.
What?
Yes. Hands down. I hear that way more.
I'm so angry at you, but continue.
You could be as angry at me as you want, because these are the songs that I have chosen for my top 3. And I feel really good about this list because I don't care if I never hear these songs ever again.
I know I've said this before, but I really know for certain that I'm right on this one. So
how could you be right on an opinion piece?
I'm right on this one. Anyway, so all right, here's my three songs that I don't ever want to hear on the radio again. First one, George Thorogood, "Who Do You Love?"
I would argue I hear that way less than
I
these
hear
other ones.
every time I turn on to a classic rock channel, somehow that song is always on, and I don't get it. It's it's not it's just a 80s blues song or whatever the hell it came out. It's just I can't even describe this.
Okay.
Rawr.
Roar.
Can't believe you picked Broke on the Wall. Anyway, second song. This is actually the most modern song out of this entire list.
Mm-hmm.
Muse, "Madness."
Where the hell do you hear that?
I hear that on all the alternative stations. Now, admittedly, I have heard it a little bit less because Muse has some new songs coming out, so the focus has been on that. But there was, I still once in a while hear it on one of the alternative channels, the song "Madness" just creep in. And
I would say that's a breath of fresh air.
no, because I love Muse. Muse has so many better songs, whereas "Madness" is just madness, madness, and it's just the most repetitive song out of. And I guess it also just makes me angry because out of all the songs that should have been huge hits for Muse in America, at least, because they've been huge overseas for so much longer, but like you're telling me that's the song from Muse that you're going to keep playing. That's the hit song. Whereas like I know it's not on the main rock channels that we always hear, but I've heard it way too many times on radio, especially like after years of it being released. It's not like it was off of the last album that might have come out a year ago. Like this, it's already been about 6 years. We don't need to hear "Madness" again.
That's a depressing thought that's been out for that long.
Yeah.
Okay. Number three.
Number 3. Van Halen,
Okay.
"Pretty Woman." I've been hearing that cover on radio a little more too often. Now, granted,
I just don't like the cover.
I-
especially
yeah.
with the intro of Intruder.
I just think it's overplayed on the radio. And it's funny because if you think about it, that's probably the worst song from Van Halen, the David Lee Roth era, to play, because if you kind of look at the history of the band,
Okay.
that song was the beginning of the end for them. Like 1984, it was a great album that had some huge hits, but that album almost came a little too late for them because they did, right before they recorded "Pretty Woman," they were going to go on a break, a much well-deserved break. They had been touring nonstop, recording nonstop, and then suddenly that single came out, and rather than give the band a break, they're like, well, crap, now we have to do a full album to include that. Like, so they rushed the record that album was on, and they were back on tour. And no more break, just keep touring and recording. And that's when the fracture started to, like, really manifest.
Yeah.
So I almost feel like it's ironic that, like, you keep playing the song that essentially kind of was the beginning of the end for the classic Van Halen era lineup. And on top of that, it's just an aggravating song. Now, admittedly, like, you hear Panama and Jump on the radio all the time too, so you could make the argument like maybe we tone down all the Van Halen. But out of all the Van Halen songs that I hear way too often on the radio, that one needs to be retired.
All right. So, what do we eliminate first? I would honestly say
Brick on the Wall.
No, eliminate the Muse. In retrospect of all things that we've listed here, the Muse is probably been played the least.
I can agree on that.
Okay, so now we're down to 5.
So now we're down to eliminating the Brick on the Wall.
Okay, why do you want to eliminate Brick
It's
on the Wall?
amazing.
That one song.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're talking in the scope of an album that is meant to be a concept and a movie and played back to back to back to back to back in order for it to make sense. You take out part 2 of a 3-part song that's broken up over the entirety of this album, and you pick that one piece and single that out, and you're telling me with the amount that was played that that's the one you want to remove from this list?
Yes.
No.
It's literally it's a freaking amazing anthemic song. And yes, I get it's part of a concept, but it's obviously the most digestible part of a larger, complicated concept.
Oh no, you're
it's-
just another brick in the wall. Yeah. I would say that you're a sheep that's following and going to be a brick in the wall if you keep this in this list. Or don't keep this in this list.
Education. It's I can't even believe you're even suggesting this song. It's so good.
How many
every time?
Okay, think about this list. How many times have you heard this song?
And how many times am I happy that I hear it? Every time it comes on the radio, I never go, "Oh, I heard this again."
Even Roger
changing
Waters
it.
is tired of this song.
Whatever. He has no right. He left the band. He has no right to chime in.
All he does is play this.
And he's making great money off of it. He's fine. Like, literally, like because I'm thinking about songs that, like, every time there's two songs. Well, actually, there's three categories of songs that I hear on the radio. There's the discovery mode. It's like, oh, all right, yeah, this is good. Then there's the, yes, this is, as soon as I hear the first three notes of a song, I'm in like, yes, this is what I needed right now. And then there's, as soon as you hear the first notes, you have the most agonizing headache and migraine, and you can't run away fast enough because you just keep hearing it too much.
And that's this.
No.
Yes, it is.
No, it's absolutely not. It's absolutely in category 2.
No, it's not.
You telling me that you don't flip your lid every time you hear it? We don't need no education. Boom, 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 boom.
I'm thinking of how many minutes do I have until this is over?
It's not even that long of a song.
It doesn't matter. How many minutes do I have until this song is over?
What happened? Why are you so jaded?
Let me explain something to you. I picked this one specifically. I could have picked Comfortably Numb. The guitar solo in Comfortably Numb is enough to keep me interested in that song every time I hear it.
I would still argue about Comfortably Numb, but I would almost have an easier time including that song on the list.
No.
Another Brick in the Ruts, literally, That song gets me pumped up every time I hear it.
I hate to say that you're wrong. You're wrong.
You're very wrong.
I'm definitely
We're
not
going to come
wrong.
back to this song.
All right, next song. Aerosmith, Walk
Screw
This Way.
you.
Why? Okay, why this one?
Out of all the Aerosmith songs, you had to choose this one?
Correct.
You. Let's come back to it. I have no patience to fight this one yet.
Okay, George
All right, what am I?
Thorogood.
Come on. You're going to look me straight in the face and tell me that's actually a good song?
I'm not saying it's a good song. I don't hear it that much.
Come on.
I'm not lying.
Are you telling me that if it came on the radio right now, you'd be like, yeah, I'll keep listening to this?
I wouldn't keep my attention away from it. I wouldn't keep my attention. It's just on. It's there, and okay, I'll move on from it. It does nothing for me.
You would rather listen to that song
Than another brick in the wall, yes.
then I'm not even going to address that one right now. That's another can of worms we will come back to. You would rather listen to George Thorogood's "Who Do You Love?" Boom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Like it's not even like that intricate of a song. It's just the same. You'd rather listen to that than "Walk This Way."
Yes.
Screw you.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
That makes no sense at all.
Once again, with not only is the fact that I hear this song incessantly over and over and over again, but the mere fact knowing that we could have done without Aerosmith if Run DMC never picked them up off the ground.
You make it sound like the fact that we have not ACDC, Aerosmith is a bad thing.
Outside of, I would say, maybe one album, I can really do without Aerosmith. This is the song that brought them back to life, and I would say,
Yes.
put them to bed, take Old Yeller out, give Joe Perry a razor and shave his ridiculous mustache.
That is a ridiculous mustache.
It's over. It's like The Sopranos. Just find something new to watch. It's over.
No.
Yes, it's over.
Okay,
it should
hold
have
on.
been over before
Hold
this
on.
song.
If you had told me you don't ever want to listen to Dude Looks Like a Lady or Love in an Elevator, I would have been like, man, I love those songs, but you know what? Okay. But you're telling me with a straight face, with
This
that little,
face right
that little
here.
smirk of yours,
Yep.
that you would rather listen to George Thorogood's "Who Do You Love? Who Do You Love?"
Yes.
instead of a classic like "Walk This Way."
You are talking about maybe a secondary or a tertiary cut rather than something that's a primary cut. And a primary cut, you can't argue with it, that Aerosmith's "Walk This Way" is primary. And this song is played way too much because dads that are getting into their later years, late 40s, 50s, maybe even 60s, depending on when you got into this stuff, that they still want to feel like a badass. And this song makes them feel like a badass. And that's why radio stations still play this stupid song. And it should just be done.
No.
They're once again, the first things that are always put out are not always the best things. Because that means somebody else can listen to that and say, hey, you know what? I can do that better. And so many other people have done it better. I would even go on to say that even Limp Bizkit did it better.
Well, why do you keep bringing the Limp Bizkit? We've talked about Limp Bizkit way too much on our podcast.
But I'm just saying.
I'm going to ignore that you even said that.
Okay, but I'm going to say that the rap rock thing has been done so much better.
Hold on. Wait a second now. Wait a second. You are talking about arguably two different songs. Are we talking about the original "Walk This Way," which I frankly feel like I don't really hear that often anymore? Or are we talking about the Run DMC version, which, you know what? I haven't heard that much often either.
I'm talking about the one that you hear all the time on radio.
Which one?
The original "Walk This Way." The one with the one that they did in the video. The one that they did in the video. The one where Aerosmith breaks through the wall with Run DMC.
That's the Run DMC version.
Yeah, and I hate it.
That's not the original version. That's
Yes,
the original version came from Toys in the Attic in the 70s.
I don't care. Still hate it. Don't care. Whatever iteration of this song you pick, I hate it.
We're coming back to this.
No, dude, just put it on the list.
No, I refuse. Can we agree about Van Halen's "Pretty Woman"?
Once again, you're talking about things that I don't hear that much.
I hear it all the time.
I don't even like this song.
So then let's put it on.
Fine, put it on the list.
All right.
I just don't like it.
We got the first one, Van Halen's cover of "Pretty Woman."
Okay.
It's on the list. That should George Thorogood.
No.
Yes.
Of all this, okay, The Muse. That's probably the first song.
We've already.
I know.
We've already agreed it's off the list.
That's fine. But The Muse is probably the least heard song out of this entire list. The second one is probably George Thorogood.
No.
Yes.
I hear it all the time.
I would love to count how many times you've heard that song.
Too often.
It's
Too many times.
No.
Too many.
I don't hear it that often. I'm not gonna.
Hold on.
I'm not.
Hold on.
Okay. You want me to back off of Another Brick in the Wall, Walk This Way, and Rock of Ages. You want me to back off those three songs, which are probably the most played songs on the radio.
Hold on. I will give you. I feel like we're literally in a business meeting right now where we're like talking about what we'll like give each other. So you gave me Van Halen's "Pretty Woman."
Go on.
I will easily give you, without even like going into why it's overplayed, not even going to discuss it, I will give you Def Leppard's "Hysteria."
Well, I didn't do Hysteria.
I'm sorry, Def Leppard's "Rock of Ages." I will agree. I know how much pain you are every time any Def Leppard song comes on.
Def Leppard, it would be, if
As
we were
much-
doing bands, that would be number one.
If we didn't have, yeah, I agree. If I wasn't still so fuming over the fact that you just named an incredible masterpiece like Another Brick in the Wall on
I
this
thought
list,
you were going to say Walk This Way.
I'm not calling that a masterpiece. So I will give you "Rock of Ages"
Okay,
by
fine.
Def Leppard. All right. So we're down to two. We got two.
Yes.
Van Halen's cover of "Pretty Woman" and Def Leppard's "Rock of Ages."
Mm-hmm. So please.
So hold on.
Go on.
I'm going to make another offer.
Mm-hmm.
If we agree to take Another Brick in the Wall off the table,
Okay.
we can still debate about George Thorogood versus Aerosmith's Walk This Way.
See, now I feel like you're just being jaded because it's Pink Floyd.
It's a great song.
It's not a great song. It's overplayed.
Do you agree to take it off the plate?
Only if you let me have Aerosmith.
Hold on. Let me taking a hard shot of something very strong to get over this. So I'm not saying I'm agreeing yet, but I just want to go over I want to go over the terms of this potential agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I still thoroughly think that George Thorogood should be on this freaking list.
Mr. Thorogood, you think that he deserves to be on this list over these other two?
Absolutely.
You think he is a big enough act to be put over these other two in terms of radio
that
play?
song all the freaking time because
but you're telling
because
me
DJs think, oh, people haven't heard this song in a while, I'll play this one, and it's always overplayed.
So,
but again,
okay,
to go over what you're proposing.
Mm-hmm.
If I agree to put Aerosmith's Walk This Way into the final slot, you will take obviously you'll have to take another Brick in the Wall off the plate because that's the final spot.
Correct.
You put me in a hard place right now.
The smoke coming out of your ears.
You put me in a place between a rock and a hard place.
Why don't you just move it on over then?
Side note, and I'm not trying to change. I'm not trying to distract everyone here.
Sure you are.
I'm surprised we didn't. Neither of us picked a Jimi Hendrix song or Deep Purple, or more specifically, Smoke on the Water.
No, smoke. I don't hear Smoke on the Water all that often.
No,
Hendrix, I feel like is kind of dialed back in recent years, just because they're. I don't want to say realizing it's out. It's just he's. The staying power, it's losing staying power.
Everyone realized they need to give it a break.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I just bought myself some time. I can't believe you freaking chose those two, you jerk.
Yep.
Fine.
There we
can
go.
have Walk This Way.
Perfect.
So, the top, I can't even believe you picked those songs.
Oh, we did. The other one that I had on.
No, I don't even want to hear.
Oh no. Because I feel like this would have been much easier for you if I picked my other song that was on this list.
Okay, what was it?
So I picked 4 songs and I narrowed it down to 3. The last one that I picked was Puddle of Mud's Control.
Yeah, it does get played a little too often.
Considering that we're still giving radio airplay to a guy who has mental breakdowns and doesn't complete full shows. And
that's still really, I guess. Why is that so played?
I don't know.
It's not even that good of a song.
It's a complete nostalgia thing, and it's still a remnant of Fred Durst on the radio.
Why didn't you pick that one?
Because
and why is it back to Fred Durst?
Because he's the one who found them. I'm sorry, it goes back to him.
Wait a second. Wait, Matt, what is that a red baseball cap back there?
It's definitely not a Yankee cap, though.
Anyway. Since you revealed one of your additional picks, my 4th pick actually would have been Jimi Hendrix's Fire. I feel like I still hear that a little too often. And I love Jimi Hendrix, and I just feel like there's better songs of his.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, okay. One more just in case one before I admit defeat. I was also considering putting Nirvana's Polly. I've been hearing Polly a lot lately.
I haven't heard Polly at all.
I've been hearing it a lot. I mean, I'm mixed about Nirvana in general. I like them just overplayed, but anyway, all right, fine. I'll admit defeat. The 3 songs that are so overplayed that we never want to hear them on radio again are Van Halen's cover of Pretty Woman, Def Leppard's Rock of Ages, and Aerosmith's Walk This Way.
You better walk this way. Stupid overplayed song, it's what it is.
If you're like me and you disagree, let us know. Comment on Epic Footnote Productions Facebook, Twitter or Instagram accounts. And make sure to tune in next time, and we hope to hear from you soon.
I hope that you agree with me.
Probably not. Thanks, everyone.
See ya.